Muscadine Vineyard tour for July 2025. So let's start at the first row. I'm in the middle of mowing, but I need to take a break, so might as well do a vineyard tour. We are down to 8 rows in the back vineyard. I took out 1 row of Black Fry and Carlos since we have too much, but it's getting harder and harder to mow because muscadines are so vigorous. They're all the way down to the grass, so I have to trim this so I can mow at the bottom. Okay, so first row right here, we have Sugar Gate. And with Sugar Gate, these are one of our best tasting one for fresh eating. We have lots of grapes. So typically, I think Sugar Gate are low producer, but this is their 3rd year in ground, maybe even 4th year. Yeah, I think 2021 is when I planted these. So every year the crop keeps getting better and better. This year, at least for the first Sugar Gate, we only have 2 Sugar Gate. If I could see at the bottom, yeah, there's a lot of grapes. It's like triple than last year for this one. So we're gonna get a lot of Sugar Gate this year for this vine. And then the other Sugar Gate, which is right next to it, I had some vigor damage. It's not quite vigorous right here, as you can see. It didn't have a lot of spurs, so these are like first time spurs right here, and there's not even on this one right here, but it still produced a little bit on this side. The main issue here is this took some winter damage. There's a little bit, so it's kind of similar to what last year is. So when I was pruning this, I have to cut it right here and just let this one did a die back. And even this one, it's probably just reserve energy. It actually put some laterals out, but up to here it kind of died. So all these things, it's all died back right here, but it can be vigorous also. So there might be some candidates here already, like this one right here. I'm gonna train to basically go over here. All right, so no big deal. It's alive and it's gonna recover. Next one is Summit. They're small to medium size, but these are one of our, again, best tasting muscadine. It's a female bronze, really good tasting muscadine, and it's quite productive. Last year, not a whole lot, probably half the load. It was more productive 2 years ago. And I got drip irrigation going now, and I'm gonna leave it overnight. Muscadines, they love to drink. So your fruit will suffer if you let them go thirsty at this stage of the fruiting period as well. All right, so next one we have Janet. So this is all female row. This one is low producer, but it also tastes pretty good. Good flavor. It's not a whole lot, maybe because the canopy of the hickory nut, it doesn't get that morning light until midday, most likely. And But you know, we have, that's why I have a lot of this low producing one. I'm going for the flavor instead of quantity, because we have a lot of muscadine. So if they produce just a little bit, it's all right as long as I get to sample it. This is another Janet. All right, and there's a nest. All right, pretty much the same crop as the other one. Very low. Okay. This entire row right here is polk. Always productive, and vigor wise it's not bad. This one right here, because I extended there's the main trunk right there. I didn't want to plant another one here. Maybe I should have. Maybe in the future I'll put a Ruby Crisp right here. So I just let it go 20 feet this way, and it's still producing. All right, very productive. Vigor is pretty good near the trunk. Lots of muscadine grapes for this polk. All right, so it's loaded. And I have, how many do I have? I have 5 in this row, or 6. Look at the size on this one. It's much more advanced than the other one. All right, so loaded polk muscadine. It's gonna go through this row right here. Yeah, it's loaded at the bottom right there, and close to the end of the arms also, the cordons. There we go. All right, so this is, so how many is that? That's 2 vines. This is the 3rd one right here. We're starting to get color on this one. And this is a purple or black muscadine, however you want to classify it. Loaded. And we're starting to get color. It's probably pretty loaded over here. This is the main trunk. All right. So polk. Look how low this. I probably forgot to prune this. Look, start producing right here. So polk is kind of like the self-fertile supreme version. Big, good tasting muscadine, but it's self-fertile. And it looks like it can carry, it can overcrop. It looks like it's healthy enough. All right. So it is the first one in the row. I have to do a little surgery right here. It had a little bit of split. I just put like electric tape. If it breaks, it's okay. I'll have another vine kind of taking over. All right, so polk, at least here in Northeast Texas, very productive. All right, this entire row is late fry. This first one, it's got something going. It's never been very vigor. However, it produces enough for whatever foliage it has. And they never got, there's something, it has something in here. Probably needs to be fixed. But, well, that's probably the most growth I've seen it like so. But over here, it just, there's some curling and whatnot. So I'm not gonna be bothered fixing it. There's too many late fry. The entire row is late fry. Very productive too. You get, they ripen late, so all the other muscadines are done. And they're kind of like your triple crown thornless blackberry. And late fry is always loaded. Good tasting too. So we pretty much got rid of anything we're not fond of, like black fry and jumbo. Those are just so-so. All right, late fry. Look at that. Look at this load right here. Late fry, vigor. You can see all the way to the grass. So I gotta trim all this so I can mow and I don't snag it, which I always do, and you lose so much grapes. Late fry, main trunk. You can expect tons of grapes under the canopy. All right, the end, loaded. This is another vine right here, vine number 5. It's a rotten one right here, gotta get rid of that. I have no time to check all this. Just wait. This is probably September before you start harvesting late fry here in Northeast Texas. There's some around August, but they're not like bunch grapes, Muscadines. They have uneven ripening. I think only Carlos and Noble are kind of even ripening. That's why they're used for wine. You know, you can mass harvest them as opposed to here. Let's say this cluster right here, 3 will be super ripe and then the rest will not be. You can kind of tell because the difference in size too. They have varying sizes. All right, so yep, loaded. So good year for Muscadines. Late fry. And here all the way to the end. All right. Next one right here, this is Carlos. This one is loaded as well. Everything is loaded. Look at that. It's just loaded. It has winter damage. So this is a new cordon that I let kind of go through here. So there's a big cut right here where the damage is. I have to cut it. So this is all new. So as you can see here, it's like first year growth on the spur. Usually if this is the previous year, you would leave 2-3 nodes and then you'll get new growth, which will be the fruiting spurs. So this is all this year and look how productive it is. All right, this one is Black Beauty. Black Beauty here in Northeast Texas, at least in our area, very productive. Unlike Sugar Gate or Janet, this female is. And Black Beauty, very good tasting muscadine, fresh eating. It's always loaded. This is a black purple muscadine. You can see here at the bottom. All right. So our Black Beauty, it's always, does not disappoint every year, always loaded. This particular one. This one right here, Black Beauty, got damaged like crazy. One of its cordon has dieback. Look at that. Hence that cut right there. You can see it. So this is all new cordon right here. But what remained, it's still very productive for the almost non-existent fruiting spur on that side. And on this side, not bad also. Look at that one. So it got damaged. So this is our new cordon right here for Black Beauty. Basically, it's just like a trunk. However, I'm still kind of waiting on this one. I'm gonna let a lot of those growth at the bottom stay in case the dieback would be severe, because I would say August is the last one where the dieback eventually will happen. It looks like you're getting growth. It will even fruit, and then it's just reserve energy off that cord and it'll just die back. So in case there's a massive one, I'll just cut that and then let those at the bottom kind of take over. This one here is noble. This is the for wine, tiny. They're small Muscadine grape size, always loaded. Tons and tons of Muscadine. All right, another Black Beauty. It got damaged right here. And I let this one kind of grow for this one, and it's loaded even on the new vine. So Black Beauty, they just do so well in this area. Right there. I think I'm going to turn around now. No, I need to. Nope. This thing is just massively loaded. This one here is our Southland, very small grape. That's probably from Black Beauty on this side. It's this one right here. This is the closest thing to a wild Muscadine flavor. So we love this one. Very Muscadine taste, and it's loaded. This thing is like, it overcrops every year. Insane amount of Muscadine. They're tiny though, but you get lots. Southland. Okay, this side we're not on the noble side, but let's see Southland again. Look at that. Just insane amount. All right, so noble, tiny also, but they get bigger than Southland. So this is purple for wine, red wine. Almost even ripening, I would say, so you can harvest them. We might try wine this fall, so we'll freeze a bunch of noble. All right, this one is pineapple. We like this. It's a little bit of hint of pineapple. It's not like you could, you would taste it and then you say, oh yeah, definitely pineapple. Tiny hint of pineapple. It overcropped 2 years ago. It's still recovering. Lots of dieback. This one here, it's all dead. So up to here, look at this crack. So this is all gonna die right here. I think up to here, or even worse. It's recovering, but back when, well, it's the reason why it got damaged and all that. It overcropped, but look at the trunk, very healthy, no crack on the trunk. So I'm gonna let some of those growth right there stay, even on the trunk. Usually if you watch my maintenance video on trunk maintenance, I clear those. So those are backup in case a lot of the cordons here dies. So very low. I mean, if you look at our back YouTube videos, man, this thing is loaded. And they're huge. Well, not supreme big. So this is another pineapple. Loaded. So you just imagine that one right there fruiting like this 2 years ago. So pineapple, fresh eating, bronze, female. Oh, is it female? I think it's self-fertile. Don't quote me on that. Loaded. When we have guests visit us, they like pineapple. This is Summit. So this is a cutting Kind of like, you take a vine like this and you dunk it on a potted soil, then it'll root, and then the following spring you just cut it, then you get a muscadine. That's how you. This is where it came from. It's from that summit over there by the sugar gate, and since it's a much older summit, there's a vine right here. It's already fruiting, so I planted it last year. This is where jumbo died, and we're not planting jumbo ever. All right, summit, decent crop. I mean, it can produce or not produce, doesn't matter to me. All right, so Darlene, I think, oh yeah, this things are Darlene, by the way. They're not Summit. Summit's only up to here, so this is all Darlene. I forgot to cut one of these. So Darlene, it keeps getting better every year. You get more crop as it gets older. I would say it's the same amount as Sugargate. So we're gonna get a lot of Darlene this year. I remember the first 2 years of Darlene, and it's quite vigorous. It's really vigorous already, and it gave me like 2 fruits. So I really thought that's all, because it's quite notorious for not giving you any fruit. Look at that. Lots of Darlene. I have 2 of these. Look how fat that trunk. All right, so every year gets it better and better. I mean, we're not talking Black Beauty numbers here, but this is pretty good for Darlene. All right, so another Darlene. All right, so we're getting some fruit. Lots of fruit for Darlene, for Darlene standard. All right, so this is one of our best days. I keep saying that, but I plant what is considered among Muscadine growers to be good tasting, but low producing. So I love planting those. I just go by numbers. And I think the mislabeled late fry are actually Darlene. So we have 4 Darlenes, and we have 8 late fry. All right, so Darlene, pretty good. Lots of fruit. Okay, so this one here is Hall. First time planted it. It's 2nd year in ground. So hopefully we get to taste Hall. Not very vigorous. Probably deer got it. Like it cut all the ends right here. So, but look at it's almost at the end of the wire here, and it looks like we're gonna taste it. All right, Hall bronze, self-fertile. All right, over here we have Supreme. Okay, black female, and my fruiting spur distance here is more than what Ison recommends. Supposed to be like a hand. Like mine is like a hand and a half. I don't want it to overcrop, because the Supreme is quite weak. You can't let it overcrop, because he'll just put it right here. All this weight goes over here. It gets winter damage easily, and I have one right there. It's alive, but I have to cut it all the way mid trunk. All right, so these things are gonna get like ping pong size, massive. All right, so the next one is also Supreme. No, this is not Supreme. This is, let me see. What is this one? I think this is Unknown. Yeah, this one is This one is bronze. I think this is unknown. I gotta cut those thing in there, but it's usefully very vigorous, almost as vigorous as that one, but for some reason it's not. I'm guessing this is a scuppernong, or I think they're bigger than the Carlos, so I don't think it's a Carlos, but yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's bronze. All right, so this one, what is this one? Is this Supreme? Yeah, I think it's another Supreme. Let me look at the tag. Yep, this is another Supreme. This is my most vigorous Supreme. So it used to be, I have Supreme here, and then it died right there. That got replaced by that unknown, and then the last one that got replaced by Hall, or that used to be Black Beauty. I think Black Beauty. All right, so this one, dangerously kind of quite vigorous. I mean, quite overcropping. So, but I think it has pretty good foliage, so it might be okay. All right, so this one is noble, but it might be Ison. They're a little bigger than noble, so it could be Ison. So I need to pay attention on the flavor profile of this one. Noble can get, I can eat them fresh. Yeah, I got them tagged as noble, but they're a little big. If you let them overripe a little bit, let's say you don't want to make jams, jelly, wine, you want to eat them, you make them, let them go overripe a little bit, and yeah, they taste pretty good. All right, this one is noble right here. It's a little smaller, so it might be, because these are from Harris Nursery. Man, they only sell two kinds, Noble and Carlos. But that means they just label whatever's black or purple as Noble, whatever's bronze is Carlos, I think, wherever they get them. Like I said, I mean, I get mine from Isons and Bottoms, but even Ison mislabel their stuff. So imagine the non-Muscadine expert nursery. They're gonna, like Home Depot, man, Lowe's, you have no chance. Those are like crapshoot, coin toss. All right, this one is, where am I here? Am I in the, this is Supreme, I think. Supreme, yep, Supreme. It looks like I really space out the spurs for Supreme, but it's still quite productive. Not very vigorous. So watch out, folks, if you have Supreme. If this eventually dies, I'm gonna replace it with Ruby Crisp or Polk. I'm pretty happy with Polk size and flavor. It's like a Supreme already. Not as big, but yeah, but man, Supreme tastes pretty good though. And they're matte like this, especially the small cluster right here. They're gonna be that big, each one. Like massive, like bigger than ping pong. Look how much it fruited here at the corner. All right, this one, it's another Supreme, got damaged. And it's my fault. I was, when I was pruning, I was just yanking stuff and I split it. So this is from last year, I think. That's why, look at the spur, there's only two. Gotta put this guy over here. So it's kind of starting over, but compared to, let's say, Iceland / Noble unknown, and compared to that trunk, the Supreme, they worry me. They are not very vigorous. Yeah, this one too, I yanked it and I ended up destroying it. So new lateral or cordons for it. So these are 4 years old, and this one right here, crack all the way to the top, to the Y split right here. So I cut it right there. So these are all new growth. I'm not gonna mess with it. Well, if there's gonna be 4 of them, I'll let them all go up and let them do their thing. Around fall, I'll figure out what needs to go and what not. So that's a Supreme. Yep. This one is Ison. Ison is self-fertile purple. It is quite productive. Ison would be the all-purpose Muscadine, I think. It's quite hardy, in my opinion. Very productive. It's okay for fresh eating, but you can definitely mix it with noble, with red wine, and you can it's also great for jam jelly. So it's good for fresh eating and processing. So, and it's quite productive, easy to grow, very vigorous, lots of fruit. Okay. All right, so this one right here, I think this is another unknown. When I say unknown, I lost the label. It's bronze. If I have to guess, it's not as big as late fry, so it's not late fry. It's also not late in getting what do you call this? In ripening. So could be, I'm guessing Scuppernong, because or a Carlos. I don't know, but it's a bronze. It's not, and it's not Darlene. It's, I've tasted it. It's not bad. So I'm guessing maybe Scuppernong. I didn't buy Scuppernong specifically, so I don't really know. Black Beauty. This one right here, loaded. So we lucked out in our area. A lot of Muscadine grower, their Black Beauty produces like a sugar gate. So they're not too happy with the quantity of fruits they get. But in our property right here, man, it's like built for Black Beauty. It's just loaded. I think Kenny from Sunny Orchard is the same as well. Here's Black Beauty, they're loaded always. And they taste pretty good. And they're big. Black Beauty. This is fairly young, because a Supreme was here and it died, so I replaced it with this. So quite loaded right here. All right, so the last one. This is Hall. So for some reason, this Hall likes it a lot better here than over there. Look at how vigorous this one is. These are second year in ground, planted last year, I think. So it started producing, so I'm gonna get some. I think the possum got all the Hall last year. It's like 3 or 4. So I don't know what Hall tastes like. I haven't tried it yet. So hopefully this year. I think this is another Ison. And it's just loaded. All right, Ison. I'm pretty sure this is Ison. Yep, Ison. All right, so right here, these are bought this at Bob Wells. Bought 4 late fry. And I'm gonna go to the other side if I can. Let me go around here. I think they're Darlene. The productivity, it's about the same as a mature, like a 4-year-old Darlene. Should have paid more attention to the flavor profile. But you can kind of tell the trunk, the vigor first. Super vigorous. Look how massive this trunk is, similar to those two other Darlene. And the fruit set, it's as productive as Darlene can get. So not bad. Mid, I would say, not super high production, but for, I would say high for Darlene. All right, so here's another one, also labeled as late fry, but it's not. Guys, look at it. Look at the trunk. Massive. And the Muscadines, the productivity is equal. So all four Darlene, very similar. All right. This late fry right here got some damage. It got a crack right here. So I let it kind of grow. So there's also damage right here. So it's not looking good right there. However, super productive last year, and so probably it overcrop, and it has kind of like the same sickness as that one. There's like curling, and anyway, it's still flowering. So I'm gonna let, if there's one, there's no good one vine going, so we'll pay attention on this one for damage. I don't see any crack trunk area, but this is definitely damaged right here. So, and it has this disease, whatever it is. It's surviving, but it's not really happy. All right, so another late fry, and this one is healthy, loaded, same as those 6 late fry over there. It's still flowering. They're still tiny grapes. So this one is really good because all the other Muscadines are gone and we still have some. All right, so this is our very long Muscadine vineyard tour here in Northeast Texas, Lake Fork area. And my next one probably is when, probably in a month. This should be, so that would be first week of August, maybe in 5 weeks. So there'll be some that are ripe then, not a whole lot, but we'll get color. We can do some taste testing. All right, so this is what they look like at the beginning of July.